Hi, I'm Dr. Bill Monacle. Thanks for stopping by today. We're continuing with our series on a move towards wellness. And if you'll remember from the last time, we talked about the star of wellness and how you need balance in these 5 areas of your life. I touched briefly on exercise and rest, and because they are so basic, I didn't really expound on anything. But today I want to add to the exercise. There's a movement going through America. It's called 10,000 Steps. The idea is to get one of these little clickers, I call it. It's a step counter is what it is. You just clip it to your belt, to your pocket, whatever, go about your daily activity, and then at the end of the day, see if you have achieved 10,000 steps. Did you move that much during the day? And it's just a measurement, you know. It gives you an idea of whether or not you're improving. If you're not getting there, next day you take the stairs instead of the elevator, you walk from a farther parking spot or whatever you have to do to add some steps to your day. And at the end of the day, you take a look, not to beat yourself up over not getting 10,000, but just so you know whether or not you're moving enough to do your body any good. And I say not to beat yourself up because that's the topic of today, is positive mental attitude, good old PMA. And once again, this has been around for so long, and if you go to Amazon Books, you'll get over 15,000 responses just by typing in PMA in their search. And so there are literally hundreds of books out there on this topic. And much like I've talked about in one of the other videos is the fact that people that have training in that area have written these books. So I'm not going to presume to be an expert on that. But I do know enough to know that our minds play a huge part in our wellness, and especially if we have the negative thinking. We have so many things going on in our lives. If we can just take a positive outlook and even get a positive slant on things that are going on. People that sit around and worry and just stress over things that might happen. One of my favorite sayings is an old French proverb I found in this book, In Tune with the Infinite by Ralph Waldo Trine. The proverb is, "Some of your griefs you have cured, and the sharpest you still have survived. But what torments of pain you endured from evils that never arrived." When you think about that for a minute, isn't that true? Almost everything you worry about, everything you think about, it never comes true. So why do we waste so much time? It's just a choice. Once again, everything we do is a choice. Why would we choose to beat ourselves up because we didn't get 10,000 steps? Why not think, hey, I did pretty good today. Tomorrow I'll do better. You know, put a positive spin on these kind of things. And another one of my favorite books is by Louise L. Hay. It's called You Can Heal Your Life. And what I like about this is it examines our mental attitudes, our beliefs, and how they manifest in our body in some form of dis-ease or sickness. And there's one form of chiropractic. It's called applied kinesiology. And it has this idea that you can find the weak areas in the body by muscle testing. And I know there are other applications, but chiropractic's what I'm most familiar with. So for this demonstration, I'd like my lovely wife to step in here, and we're going to just prove. Now, applied kinesiology has with it this innate wisdom in the body. Knows what's good for it, knows what is not good for it. If it's not good for it, it's going to make the body weak. So I'm going to ask my wife to put her left hand behind her back, and I'm just going to put something in that. And with that, we're going to do a muscle test. Now, this is something you can do at home. Just make sure the person that you're doing it on doesn't have a shoulder problem or an elbow problem, and we're just going to test this muscle. So with this, excuse me, let me have this. We're going to take that away from her because we've got to make sure the muscle is strong first of all. So hold the arm. Very, very good. Okay. Now we're going to put something in her hand. The body's innate wisdom is going to know whether or not it's good for it. So hold once again. And you can see what happened to the strength. Hold. Okay. And what did we give her? pack of Splenda.
Oops.
Artificial, you know, the body knows that that's not good for it. So let's put something else in there, and we have, hold.
Okay.
Oh, where'd the strength go? Hold. Oh, goodness. What do we have? Good old plain white sugar. One of the 3 white killers. If you've heard practitioners, health practitioners talk about the 3 white killers, you got refined sugar, salt, and bleached flour. If you can eliminate those 3 things from your diet, you can improve your wellness a whole lot. So let's give her something else here. Arm up. Hold. Strength is back. I'm pushing pretty hard. She's able to resist. And with that, we have a packet of one of our daily supplements. So her body needs that. Her body knows that makes her strong. But even more than things you're putting in your body, your mind has this way of being able to dominate the body in terms of what makes it weak and what makes it strong. So there are certain words that you use. The word should is one you can eliminate from your vocabulary. Should carries with it, if you don't do it, guilt comes in. Oh, I should clean the house today. And then if you don't do that, then you're a bad person. And the guilt is actually worse than the dirty house. So eliminate should. Another one of my sayings that I do my very best to never use is can't afford. When you say you can't afford something, it's usually a matter of, well, I have the money, but I'd rather spend it on something else. You can afford it. You know, sometimes it may be, yeah, I could afford this case of beer, but I've got to go pay my electric bill. I'm not talking about those kind of things. Usually we're talking about discretional money. So if you eliminate that from your vocabulary also. The other one is don't. You know, there's some short circuit in the mind. This has been proven for years that when you say don't do something, the mind doesn't hear don't. Okay? So it's going to do whatever you tell it to not do. A better word would be like never do that. All right? Especially if you're talking with your children. When you say don't touch that, well, what do they want to do? They want to touch that. If you say never touch that, you know, like a hot stove, then they get the idea without using the word that doesn't work. So, with that also is a word you hear all the time, and that is try. I'm going to try. Well, I'm trying. Well, because the words we think and when we speak them, it gives them power. Try means you're doomed for failure. And once again, let's do the arm test. Hold. Very good. Good and strong. Okay, now I want you to say, I'm going to try to go to that meeting Saturday.
I'm going to try to go to that meeting Saturday.
Whoa, what happened?
I'm going to try to go to that meeting Saturday.
So once again, now then say, I'm going to do my best to go to that meeting.
I'm going to do my best to go to that meeting Saturday.
Okay, once again we have the strength return. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, if these things make us weak, if they are going to make the body weak, what's going to happen? The body is going to get sick. That's what we're trying to avoid with this move towards wellness. And the reason I started with exercise, rest, and PMA, these are things that you don't need anybody else to help you with. You don't have to go to your chiropractor. You don't even have to go to the store for food, which we'll talk about in the next couple of segments. So this is something that is solely up to you to make the choice. As soon as you choose to move towards wellness, these 3 things are things you can do on your own. Shouldn't take anybody else, only the time necessary to change the way you think and to change the way you act, to change the way you speak, and move towards wellness. Thank you.
You should have smiled. We can cut it.